Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. It is Monday, and tonight was Monday Night Raw. We're going to talk about everything that took place tonight at Raw, talk about what we do know taking place tomorrow at SmackDown Live, take some of your calls, and, hey, go from there. Alright, so let's see who is in the chat right now with us. We have DeAndre Dukes, iHero, Lennox Pie, Andre Susita, Vondre Bridges, Wrestle Rants, The Amazing 1-1, Rafael Rodriguez, Stop the One. Alright, Amazing One. You'll be at SmackDown tomorrow. I will be there too. Where are you going to be sitting? And yeah, this is actually... So SmackDown, we'll just do this first. SmackDown is taking place tomorrow in Fresno, California, at the Save Mart Center. This is the first, this is the first TV taping we've had here in Fresno since the SmackDown after WrestleMania 31, and it is the first live taping, like airing live at the same time, since 2011, I want to say. Right before, what was it, WrestleMania 27? I could be wrong, but it was the one when Undertaker and Triple H both came out to the ring. It was a Raw. Undertaker and Triple H both came out to the ring. They didn't say anything. They looked at each other. They looked at the WrestleMania sign, and that was it. That was the last time a live show was done here in Fresno. And like I said, the last time there was a, how do I say it? A taped show, not a house show. It was right after WrestleMania 31. The Amazing Andre says 112 next to the stage. Okay, I'm going to be literally front row, right side of the ramp if you're looking at the stage. Maybe we'll run into each other. Be cool. All right. Actually, got a call already. Let's take this call before we start talking Raw. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on? And never mind, we lost them. All right. So Raw. Oh, we got the call back. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, how are you?
Pretty good. How's it going?
I'm good. I'm just honestly a little confused on what WWE's trying to do now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In my perspective, but I mean, it is what it is now. I didn't want to Seth Rollins, honestly, but it is what it is. I actually had a weird scenario with the whole if Seth Rollins would have won.
Okay.
Like he would have feuded with Dean.
Right.
And then that would have led to a Dean Ambrose heel turn.
Okay.
I mean, I've heard rumors. I don't want to say if they're true.
Right.
I've heard rumors that was in the talks.
Yeah.
But honestly, I want to see how they would use Dean Ambrose right now as a heel, because he's hilarious. I'm going to say that right now. He's hilarious.
Right.
And I would want to see if they would continue the hilarious streak with him. But, I mean, I don't know, honestly. It's just all confusing on what they're trying to do.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I have heard the things on people saying that they may turn Dean Ambrose heel, but I don't know how concrete that can be. One day I hear they're going to turn him heel, and then the next day I hear that they don't have faith in him right now, so they're not going to do much with him. It's it's going back and forth, so we don't know really what to believe with Dean Ambrose right now. And to be honest, I don't know this to be true, but I could see them taking the title off of Dean and giving it to The Miz.
I mean, yeah, I could see it too, but, I mean, what would that do, honestly?
Honestly, if you really look at it, the title was better when The Miz had it on SmackDown anyways. In my opinion, at least.
Well, I mean, your opinion is your opinion. Everybody has their own opinion. I would agree with you on some part of that, but, I agree with that Dean Ambrose has done nothing as the Intercontinental Champion.
Exactly.
When was the last time he defended it?
Pre-show WrestleMania.
WrestleMania? That's right.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't know why WWE did not turn Bray Wyatt. They did not turn him face. Instead, they're going to have a feud with him, with Finn Balor. I mean, I like the feud,
right.
But I would want to see what he could do.
But if you look at Monday Night Raw, they need the heels. They have honestly too many baby faces on Raw. So if you want to say, okay, Bray Wyatt, where does he fit in as far as the main guys on Raw? He has to be heel because that's what they need him to be. I mean, if you look at baby faces, you got Finn, you got Seth, you've got Dean, you've got Roman, and then heels, you've got Braun, Joe, Miz. So you need that one other heel and Bray to even it out as far as the top 4 or 5 guys either way, heels and faces.
Okay, like I was going on about the Dean Ambrose heel turn.
Right.
I think they should have turned him heel and then made Bray Wyatt face.
Maybe.
Just to see the reaction out of the fans, see if they like it or not.
But if you look at what Bray did with Kurt Angle, how he said, this may be your show, but this is my world, that's a heel thing.
Yeah. But it from the beginning until the end, I thought he was going to be turned.
Right.
Until the end. I was like, oh, okay, they're just going to keep him heel now.
Right. I get what you're saying.
It is what it is. But overall, I like the show. I can't wait for tomorrow, honestly.
Oh yeah.
The SmackDown's actually in my hometown.
Oh, wow. I'll be there.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Yep.
I'm kind of upset. I was gonna get tickets, and I couldn't get time to it, and plus they were kind of expensive for me.
Right.
I'm a college student, so I don't have that much money, you know.
Gotcha.
But I mean, it is what it is. I'll watch it on TV.
Yeah.
You called that, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Them defending it on Tuesday, so it's gonna happen.
Yep.
And
Jericho's got to lose.
Exactly. So that's an obvious right there.
Oh,
Another thing, they need to stop being predicting.
They need to way too predictable.
Like, another thing about tonight, they lost their chance to turn Matt and Jeff Hardy broken. They lost their chance. That was their one chance. I understand that I don't know if they officially have the broken
right.
stuff
We
yet,
don't know yet.
Exactly. But I mean, there were rumors going around that they did.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, that was their one chance because, like you mentioned last night, that bro kick off the pole, that could have snapped something in him, honestly.
Oh, yeah, and then the bro kick the Mac took in the middle of the ring, that was a stiff shot.
Exactly, right?
Right.
Honestly, that would have been... I don't obviously know what WWE has planned for the Hardys after
right.
this, especially with this tag team terminal that's going to happen next Monday.
Yeah,
I don't know who could win. I mean, honestly, it looks like Sheamus and Cesaro could face
right. That's what I would think, but they can always change it up. Right.
Yeah, like they changed it up tonight with Bray Wyatt now going to feud with Finn Balor instead of The Miz.
Right.
And it's just Vince needs to just make his mind once in a while, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, because but yeah, too many things getting changed at the last minute.
Yeah, and I understand he thinks there's a good idea, but then he's like, oh, this is a better idea. I'm going to do this one. How many of those good ideas have actually worked out? His idea of making Roman Reigns a face, what's that doing for him?
Nothing. But at the same time,
exactly.
I mean, Roman and Braun Strowman have been good.
Oh, don't get me wrong. That's an awesome feud. And I don't know if you saw. Did you see the announcement of what Braun Strowman has right now? He's tore his rotator cuff, I think.
Oh, I did not see that actually.
Yeah, apparently he tore his rotator cuff, and Roman Reigns has more injuries to his ribs. So I don't know if they're gonna have the Extreme Rules match yet.
Well, the Roman Reigns injuries, that's all storyline.
Yeah, but I saw. I don't think it was WWE.com. I saw something. Because I follow Bleacher Report usually sometimes whenever I'm not home, and I saw a thing on the list of stuff that Braun Strowman tore his rotator cuff, and that Roman Reigns has injuries to his ribs still. So,
well, that would make sense why at least Braun wasn't on the show tonight. I mean, it's understandable why Roman wasn't on the show.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't know if this is just the playoff stuff. Obviously, the Roman Reigns thing was because he performed on the weekend shows.
Right.
It's all... Yeah,
all right, the Braun Strowman... according to Cage Side Seats, the Braun Strowman injury is a storyline.
Oh, okay. All right, well, that makes sense then.
It was something that Kurt Angle said in a statement to WWE.com.
So So, isn't a torn rotator cuff is a big injury, isn't it?
I would assume.
So, like, okay, I don't know how they do an Extreme Rules.
I don't know.
Because, in my opinion, obviously that was going to be an ambulance match because of the ambulance at the end of the show last night. So, I don't know, honestly. Like, honestly, I don't know what WWE is going to do with everything right now. We might not even see an Extreme Rules match.
But I mean, the torn rotator cuff makes sense as far as if he got the injury when he ran through the ambulance door. So. Yeah,
exactly. And then Roman Reigns was slamming it into his shoulder.
Right.
In the process.
Right. So it makes sense. It makes sense that it's storyline.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think honestly it should just. It's so confusing. Like I just said about the Extreme Rules match, I just thought about it. Maybe they can put Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor in a Extreme Rules match. I'd like to see that, honestly,
right.
Just to see what could happen. But like I said, it's kind of hard to determine on what could happen, honestly, because I don't know if The Miz versus Dean Ambrose will even be a stipulation match. It's all, I mean, it needs time to develop, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Well,
but
Extreme Rules, if that's when they do the match, ain't for like a month and a half.
Exactly. So they got a long time to do it.
Exactly.
And it just, I get you to see the play-by-play on what's going to happen in the next episodes of Raw.
Right.
And wasn't the original plan to have that triple threat match for the Universal title, number one contendership?
That's what PW Insider was saying, but they also said that the script was they said they got word that it was for the Universal title, number one contender, but at the same time, the script was being rewritten.
Okay.
So.
Because I've heard rumors that it's going to be Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal title at Great Balls of Fire.
And then possibly Finn at SummerSlam.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Finn Balor at SummerSlam. I don't know why they would move the Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Like, that's a big builder. Like, especially from a couple of weeks ago, like the night after WrestleMania, they started building that up. So I thought, honestly, they're gonna move it to the next pay-per-view. Okay,
right.
Awesome. But then Braun Strowman came out. I was like, ooh, this looks even better.
Right.
But yeah, I honestly don't know. I can't wait though, because Raw. This is honestly one of the best Raws I've seen in a long time, in my opinion.
Yeah, it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was great, but it wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad like the past ones. Like
months. Like last week's Raw was horrible.
Yeah, it was really bad. Like, I mean, honestly, this is my opinion. It's probably a lot of other people's opinions. SmackDown's kicking the butts.
Oh yeah.
And I honestly want to see what's going to happen tomorrow. I hope Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho have a great match. I hope they do.
They could. And I mean, it's as long as it's better than the match they had on Sunday, because it was just a decent match they had on Sunday.
Yeah, I was kind of upset when they started the pay-per-view with that one off too. I was like, why are they starting the pay-per-view off with this match?
Right.
Like, honestly, I think they should have started off with the Hardy Boys versus Cesaro and Sheamus, but of course it's WWE saying not the fans. They can't choose, obviously. But, yeah, like everybody has their own opinions on stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I want to see how they build it. I wonder if Randy Orton's not going to get the title back until Payback. Like, if they're going to just have Jinder Mahal just beat the crap out of him for the next couple weeks, or if Randy gets it back this week or next week. I don't know.
I think he may get it back at least the week before or the week leading into, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's just it's a whole weird statement.
Right. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what does happen tomorrow on SmackDown.
Exactly. I can't wait, honestly, because one, it's in the hometown, and two, it's just SmackDown Live. You can't go wrong with SmackDown Live right now. Exactly,
but I want to say thanks for the call and have a great night.
No problem, man. You too.
All right. So AJ Styles has asked like 3 or 4 times here in the chat, is it true that Adam Cole's contract is expired with Ring of Honor? Yes. Adam Cole's contract, the last day on his contract was yesterday. As of today, he did not re-sign with Ring of Honor. Now, I don't know what that means as far as him not working with Ring of Honor anymore, but as of today, he is no longer under contract with Ring of Honor. Let's see what else you guys are saying here in the chat. Then we'll get to Raw. Take some more calls here in a little while. Broken T says, I hope that Matt Hardy becomes Broken Matt Hardy soon as possible. WWE needs the broken brilliance of Broken Matt Hardy. I mean, Matt, he's still teasing it on Twitter. He did a broken tweet towards Sheamus and Cesaro before Raw, but it didn't go nowhere. So, let's go see what happened on Raw. So, Raw started off with all the women of Monday Night Raw in the middle of the ring. They were doing a coronation of Alexa Bliss. If you didn't see Raw Talk last night, Alexa Bliss was on Raw Talk, and she was upset that they didn't have like streamers and balloons and a celebration set up for her. And so, they did the celebration kinda tonight on Raw. Bayley, Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, Emma, Alicia, Dana, Mickey, they were all out in the ring, and then Alexa Bliss got her big entrance. They called it the coronation of the new Raw Women's Champion, and she said, there was a lady that used to come out here, or a girl used to come out here and call herself the Queen. Well, I'm glad to say that the Queen is dead. Long live Alexa Bliss, the goddess, the only goddess of the WWE. She talked about how she deserved a proper coronation, not just being given the championship and the referee kind of barely raising her hand. She talked about how, Mickie James, she looked up to Mickie James when she was younger, and James's Mae Young to her fabulous Moolah. She then thanked Banks, who Banks claimed didn't know who Bliss was last night. Bliss said that Banks can call her the one who pinned you to get to where I am. She then looked at Nia Jax and kind of kissed up to Nia Jax. She then stood on the podium and then started talking down to Bayley. She said how, I don't know if you saw this. She went, Bayley, I don't know if you saw this, but your family, they were sad when I beat you. They were upset. And I thought, well, what would Bayley do? And as she started talking down about Bayley's family, Bayley attacked her. This then set up a 8-woman tag match after the commercial. Actually given a lot of time. They went through another commercial. It was like a almost 14-minute match. In the end, Bliss kept herself out of the ring for most of the match. After Banks got the heat, Bayley got the hot tag, unloaded on Alexa Bliss. Bayley hit a back suplex, but Nia Jax made the save. Mickie James gave Jax a plancha, and then the match broke down from there. All the women just going at each other. And then finally, at the end, Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, and Alicia Fox and Emma, were victorious. Enzo and Cass then came out. Amore said that we're tired from giving Big Al and Andy all the beatings last night. As Cass was about to do his catchphrase, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows came out, and the crowd was just all along with the faces. We then had Enzo versus Luke Gallows. Enzo sold his left arm the whole way through this match, with Gallows delivering an Anaconda Vice, remnants of his old cult leader CM Punk, as a rest hold, as well as a divorce court. Enzo hit his DDT off the second rope. Enzo hit the field goal, which is Randy Orton's old punt kick, which really surprised me, especially after Sheamus hit I guess you can call it a punt kick on Jeff Hardy knocking his tooth out. So I was surprised they let Enzo actually do that move. Enzo then went to the top rope where Anderson distracted him. Gallows got the pin on Enzo with a fireman carry flapjack. All right, let's see what you guys are saying here in the chat. A lot of you guys, let's see. I0 says, no celebration, LOL. Money Me 17 says Emma, Peyton Royce, Billie Kay should be a group. Hey, that'd be pretty cool. Let's see. What else are you guys saying? AJ Styles, how can I call from India? I believe if you're trying to call international, you're supposed to dial 001 and then area code phone number. I believe that's what you're supposed to do. I looked it up the other day when you guys were asking. So if you're trying to call internationally, 001 and then the phone number. Let's see what else you guys are saying here in the chat before we go on with more Monday Night Raw. AJ Styles is also asking about Maria and Mike Bennett. I don't know. Like I've been saying a couple weeks back, they were backstage for Raw or for SmackDown. WWE is interested, but I haven't heard anything since. Daniel Hernandez says, do you think Breezango will win the championships? I honestly don't. Let's see. Bullet Club vs. Shield says, what's the plan for Sasha? Alexa for the title. If the plan is still to do Sasha Bayley at SummerSlam, then I think Alexa's going to hold it till either Extreme Rules or Great Balls of Fire, then drop it to Bayley, and then they go into Bayley Sasha Banks. All right. That would be how I would see it going down. Now, I don't know if they still want to do Bayley or Sasha Banks at SummerSlam. That was the plan after Mania. It was also the plan before Mania, but let's see. Back to Raw. We had Luke Gallows defeating Enzo, and then we had a backstage segment. Actually, let's take this call before we got all these people calling. Let's take this call before we go on with Raw. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Yeah, man. Let's talk about Great Balls of Fire.
Great Balls of Fire.
At first, they announced Bad Blood. I was like, great, blast from the past.
Right.
But at the same time, I knew he was going to change. I knew it.
Well, the Bad Blood, the whole rumor of Bad Blood coming back was always false news.
But I was listening to Joe Cronin's show. I know you know Joe Cronin.
Oh yeah, I listened. I've talked to him a couple times.
Yeah, they said they was there, and they announced it right on SmackDown.
Okay.
But then they changed it. What that?
Well, because when the news broke on they were bringing back Great Balls of Fire, it was that they were going to, or not Great Balls of Fire, but Bad Blood. It was that they were going to do the show in Hartford, Connecticut. But they're not going to Hartford, Connecticut for a pay-per-view this year. It's Great Balls of Fire, which is taking place in Dallas. So that's where a lot of the confusion is coming from as well.
Yeah. But Vince don't want us to say blood, but we can say balls.
No.
Because
it's supposed to be a fireball.
If it's fire, it's not gonna be fire. It's just gonna be another Raw exclusive pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, it's just a name. It's no gimmickry or anything special to it.
That's why I don't watch Raw no more. I just watch SmackDown. To be honest, I've been a SmackDown fan since I was 5 years old. My daddy was a Raw fan.
Right.
But they still had better storylines today than they do now.
Okay.
Better, way better. Like, the creative team on Raw just, it's like monkeys back there.
But if you look at it, Vince runs both shows. Vince has final say for both Raw and SmackDown. So it's what Vince wants to do, and it's him running both shows.
Yeah, I know. Like, how can your other show be better than your flagship show?
I've been asking that since the draft. Since about 3 weeks after the draft.
Like, good, fine. Blood. You can see blood like some of the time, but not all the time. It's
right.
It's only gonna get better if Vince retires, which I know he's not. He's gonna die. He's gonna die in that chair.
But honestly, we don't know that. We don't know what Triple H is gonna do. We only know what he's done with NXT. He can come up, run the main roster, and then it not be like what he was doing in NXT, or it not all correlate to the main roster crowds. So we can say all we want that it's going to be better once Vince retires, but we honestly don't know if you really look at it.
Yeah. A whole lot. Like, you mentioned that. My first time watching NXT TakeOver, that was awesome. Like, really, like, that tag team match was awesome. Like, wow. And it was like, they, what the tag team name, the dude with the broken jaw.
Oh, the Revival?
The Revival, yeah. Like, they are really good and DIY.
Oh, yeah.
But Yeah, you know DIY was supposed to debut on SmackDown.
The revival came to
The-
Raw. I don't know about DIY going to SmackDown.
Yeah, because I think Johnny Gargano said it on Twitter they were supposed to debut on SmackDown weeks before, but the time it was one enough time.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just been watching like highlights on YouTube when they post it.
Right.
Like but I watched Fastlane last night. The ending was awesome. I was so happy when Roman got his ass beat. Like, oh my God, Jesus Christ! But I want to see what they do with Baron Corbin though.
Right. Because I know, like, we've seen with Braun Strowman, he's getting pushed like a monster. Vince wants to kind of do something similar with Baron Corbin, but maybe not go full-blown monster since that's what they're doing with Braun. But he does want to make him a big-time heel the same way they are making Braun a big-time heel.
Like, he just needs to work on his mic skills or just unscript him.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's still, if you really think about it, he's only been in doing this. He was in NXT for what, maybe a year and a half, and then he's been on the main roster for a year. So he's not even got like 4 years under his belt. He came straight from, he was playing NFL, left the NFL, WWE recruited him, and he's just one of their pet projects. So he's still got a lot of ways to grow. Like, there's room there.
Yeah. But they have been speculating that he's going to win the Money in the Bank.
I have heard that. I heard that this week.
I heard that from JD, and they said Dave Meltzer reported it.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all I had to say.
All right. Well, thanks for the call and have a great night.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Let's see. Money Me says Raw sucks so bad mainly due to it being too long, aka 3 hours. Raw needs to go back to 2 hours immediately. And it would help if they went back to 2 hours, that's for sure. But it's the fact that USA Network wants the 3 hours. And if they're going to pay for it, if they're going to pay that extra money to have it 3 hours, then WWE is going to give them that third hour. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, man?
How's it going?
All right. I was wondering, I was just listening to Meltzer on Observer Radio. I was wondering if you would like a few notes from the show.
Okay.
From
their Raw review or the show last night from Payback?
No, they were talking about, a little while ago, the show just ended. They were reviewing Raw and talking about some news that was coming out of the show.
Oh, okay.
Meltzer said that the thing with Strowman is actually a legit injury.
Oh, really?
He believes that it's a legit injury. Otherwise, they wouldn't mention an injury like that on television, especially when it requires surgery and months out of action. And he says that they went back to the original plans with Balor and Wyatt because it was Balor and Miz, and then Wyatt and Ambrose. They went back because Balor was supposed to win and fight Lesnar for the title, but they switched it up to the Intercontinental title because they're saving Balor for SummerSlam now that Strowman hurt. And Reigns apparently is out of an opponent. They have nobody lined up for him right now, so I guess he's going to be off TV for a couple months or so.
Yeah, I'm on the Observer website, and I don't see anything of their Raw review. Where did you hear it at?
Post 10 minutes or maybe 15 minutes after the show ends, I guess.
Well, they don't. They usually, if it was Meltzer, they don't do their Raw reviews till well past almost midnight when they record them.
This is interesting. I think you'll be seeing it in the morning on all the websites. But Adam Cole, the thing I wanted to mention the most is Adam Cole is a free agent today, right?
Yes, his contract expired yesterday.
And from what I understand, WWE isn't allowed to negotiate for 90 days.
Okay, I haven't heard that because I know that WWE has that rule on their superstars, but I was under the impression that Ring of Honor does not have that.
Like, because, like I mentioned, I think you've heard that Meltzer's in his newsletters has mentioned the fact there's a bunch of legal stuff, and they just want to wait out.
It was the fact that WWE was actually contacting Ring of Honor guys a little bit too early, as far as like with Kyle O'Reilly and stuff. They knew when his contract was expiring, so they tried to jump the gun a little bit with contacting him, and Ring of Honor found out and got upset.
Yeah, and it's really cool, and it really makes sense. You can bring him in August if you want to wait 90 days, and you can shoot him right into a match with Bobby Roode, which would be incredible.
Right.
But my thing is, SummerSlam, to me, I don't know. Do you think it's going to be a pretty big show? Do you think Cena's going to be back? Or?
That's the thing. We don't know if Cena's going to be back, because it all depends on if he's I know he's filming one movie. If he's going to film the second movie and do them back-to-back, he probably won't be back in time.
All right, and I have one last thing before I go. What I think is happening with the Hardys is this. Next week, obviously, Cesaro and Sheamus are going to win the tag team turmoil. It's obvious.
Oh, yeah, I would assume.
And, I think they're actually going to lose the titles at Extreme Rules, and Matt's going to, something's going to happen where he's going to get knocked through a table
right.
or something like that.
Sort of Extreme Rules match.
Something like that. And I believe they'll be full broken, by SummerSlam.
That could be possible.
All right, man. Well, appreciate you.
Not a problem. Thanks for the call. Have a great night.
All right, you too.
All right. Let's see. Get back here to the chat. Ryan Armstrong said, I read that Summer Rae was to return on Raw. What happened? No, it wasn't that she was to return. It's that Raw took place in Sacramento. She sent out a tweet saying that she was in Sacramento. So all the websites went on saying that Summer Rae's coming back, but nobody had any confirmation on that. Nobody was able to actually say 100% for sure, oh, Summer Rae's coming back. It was all speculation based off of a tweet that she sent out saying that she was in Sacramento. That's all it was. And so I have to go from there. See if she does come back. I know she was drafted to Raw, so she could have came back on Raw, especially if she was there and was backstage. But I don't know why. I mean, it makes sense why she didn't come back, because there would have been nothing for her to do tonight. They did the 8-woman tag, and she would have been like the 9th person left out. What would they do? Make her the referee? Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Yeah, I got a couple of questions.
Okay.
First, I was wondering, if you had a chance to work for Vince, what would you do to make Raw better, or try to convince him to make Raw better?
Well, I mean, one thing would be consistency, as far as if you do something one week on Raw, follow up with it the next week. Don't just change things last minute, which we all know is their MO. They think changing things last minute makes it unpredictable, but when you change things last minute all the time, it really just makes it whereas the fans don't know what to follow. So that would be one big thing, is I would say, hey, you need consistency, more consistency.
For example, like tonight, you think that the triple threat really was for the Universal Champion title?
I mean, that's what was reported. I don't know, like I said earlier, that's what was reported by PW Insider, but then we got it for the IC title. It does make more sense that it's for the IC title, because Brock's not supposed to be back for like 2 months, and there is a pay-per-view before that. So then it would say, then that would really make it if, say, Balor were to win because he was getting a Universal title shot, then that would have been a second straight pay-per-view where he may not have been on again because they were going to save him for, say, Brock Lesnar or something. So it made sense making it for the IC title, especially with the Miz winning and everything.
So the Extreme Rules is on June, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they say that Braun's gonna face him in the next pay-per-view. Are they gonna make the Roman Reigns and Strowman match a number one contender match, or?
Honestly, we don't know, because there's rumors going on that they're injured and they may not be able to wrestle then. I honestly, they were both off the show tonight, which was very surprising that they at least didn't have Strowman on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they could make it a number one contender match, but at the same time, we'll have to wait and see exactly how they bring Brock back in leading up to Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah, I think that's what made the show so bad tonight, because they neither Roman or Strowman were on it.
Right.
And the matches, they were like repeat from last night or something like that. Like during the show, like I was like getting there like sleepy, like there was nothing interesting going on this time that caught my eye. Like for example, I thought the segment with the Hardys, I thought that's with not that they really were going to turn broken at that time, but there's still issues with TNA and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. And what, I don't know, I just hope SmackDown's better tomorrow.
We'll have to wait and see. They do have a United States Championship match, so that'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope I think that's the main event.
It should. I would believe so.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got for tonight. All right.
Thanks for the call. Have a great night.
You too.
All right. Now, as far as this Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns injury, I think the Roman Reigns injury is storyline because they're saying he's got more internal injuries from when he was dropped onto the steel steps and stuff. But the Braun Strowman stuff, I don't know. Like I said, Cage Side Seats is saying, because I didn't hear anything on Braun Strowman injury being legit. Like I said, let's see, where was it? Cage Side Seats is saying that late Monday night, let's see, the Monday nights have been the Braun Strowman show, but Strowman was not on Raw. He was absent from the proceedings one night after defeating Roman Reigns at Payback, however, and when general manager Kurt Angle came to the ring to provide an injury update on the main event from last night, we may have found out why. It was expected WWE would continue an injury angle with Reigns. His entire upper body was taped up, and from his last run-in with Strowman, and he was spitting out blood, etc. What was unexpected was Angle saying that Braun Strowman had a torn rotator cuff. WWE has since confirmed this story on their website. So if you go to the WWE website, it does say that when Braun ran through the door of the ambulance and then Roman slammed the other door into him, it injured his rotator cuff. Now, I don't know if this is legit or not because, like I said, we only heard it on Raw, and then it's on WWE.com. If it was a legit injury, I would have assumed this news would have broke before Monday Night Raw. So that's why I could be wrong, but I think it's all storyline. I'll see what I can find out overnight and tomorrow morning and all that, but from the way I'm looking at it, I think the Braun Strowman injury could be most likely storyline. Let's see. What else are you guys saying? Shadman, like I was really mad at the fact that he didn't get medical attention right away. Let's see, that was very dangerous. Okay. Crayman, I got a weird question. Will The Miz ever turn face? He can. But The Miz is such a good heel. I don't see that happening anytime soon at all. Let's see. Stop the One. What do you think is going to be the main event of Extreme Rules? I would think if we're getting Braun versus Roman again, then that could be the main event. But at the same time, it could be Dean and Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. It could be going that direction. Ryan Armstrong, where's Curtis Axel, Mark Henry, and Bo Dallas? Curtis Axel was on Raw last week. As far as Mark Henry and Bo, I don't know. I know Mark Henry's looking to retire soon. And Bo, Bo just hasn't been seen in quite some time. Bo hasn't been seen in a long time. Let's see. Just for fun gaming, I'm not finished with you. That should be the new Braun Strowman tagline. Strowman is jealous that Roman is the top dog. The whole Wyatt family is just copying what the Brothers of Destruction did, Kane and Undertaker. Walsh says, what's going on with the Hardys? Seems like they're teasing the broken gimmick a lot. They're teasing it. They're teasing it every week. They're teasing it every day on Twitter. But we don't know exactly what they're doing with them as far as the gimmick. Because last week we heard, oh, hey, they got the gimmick. But they haven't done anything with it yet. And I know they're not going to just, oh, we got it, we're going full bore with it. No. So they got to just slowly ease us into it if they did get it. DeAndre Duke says, do you think WWE should do a weekly open challenge for the US IC titles like John Cena did in 2015? That way they'll mean something again. No, because it was cool when John Cena did it because it wasn't something that we were expecting when he first started it, and he kept on doing it and doing it and doing it. But I don't think it's something that they need to do every week. Because eventually you're going to run out of competitors and challengers. Then you're just going to have to start you're either going to have to stop it, just out of nowhere, or you're just going to start looping. All right, let's get back to this Raw recap. So after Luke Gallows defeated Enzo, Neville talked with TJ Perkins backstage. Perkins talked about Austin Aries nearly making Neville tap out at Payback. Excuse me. And then he said how Neville got himself disqualified. Neville told Perkins to tread carefully. Neville said that he'll give Perkins a shot at the Cruiserweight title down the line if he makes the most of his opportunities, but said Perkins had to prove himself tonight against Austin Aries. Seth Rollins then came out to the ring, talked about his win over Samoa Joe, said that he's done so much over the last 6 months, and there's one more thing he wants, and that's the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Rollins said that he wants the Universal Championship, and before he can go any farther with that, out came Finn Balor. Finn Balor came out and said, I'm on the same page. We've been on the same page lately. Balor said that Rollins earned his respect by being the one-legged man who won at WrestleMania. He then said that, or Balor then asked Rollins if he remembered that Balor had one arm hanging from his body when he beat Rollins at SummerSlam last year. When it all comes down to facing Lesnar, the line starts behind Balor. That's what he said. Dean Ambrose then came out and said Lesnar doesn't fight all that often, and that you should be wanting to fight a champion that's willing to put his title on the line whenever he's willing to, not just whenever he wants to, but anytime. Miz and Maurice then came out and said that Miz deserves a chance for a championship match, and then in a weird kind of thing, I don't even know why this made any sense, but Dean called up Kurt Angle, and they set up a triple threat #1 contender match. Like, why couldn't Kurt just come out? Why did Dean... It plays into the wacky Dean Ambrose, so I guess that's why it made sense. Let's see. Stop the One says, I once believed in Bo Dallas. He seemed like good championship material. He was a great NXT champion. Like, he was really, really good as the NXT champion. But then they moved him to the main roster, and I don't know if Vince just took a look at him and said, oh, yeah, no, this guy ain't no good looking. Look at his body. I don't know. I mean, Neville as well. When Neville first came to the main roster, he was an amazing NXT champion, and then just kind of like was there before the whole cruiserweight division and all that. Let's see. Michael Cole then gave us an update on Kalisto. Says he's recovering from his hip and cervical trauma after Strowman threw him off the stage in a dumpster. We then had Jack Gallagher, Rich Swann take on Akira Tozawa, or Jack Gallagher, Rich Swann, and Akira Tozawa take on Noam Dar, Brian Kendrick, and Tony Nese. Match went about 10 minutes. Crowd grew into the match after not really caring at the opening of the match. Gallagher had Williams III, his umbrella, gave it to Akira Tozawa, and then gave it to Swann. Oh, man. Towards the end, Kendrick put Gallagher on the captain's hook, but Swan made the save to Zawa, and Swan delivered stereo topes on Nice and Dar outside the ring. In the ring, Gallagher then pinned Kendrick and with the gentleman's drop kick. Let's see. Let's see. What are you guys saying? I saw something here in the chat. Brandon Anthony says, search up Lincoln Financial Field on Google. They're saying, okay, never believe Wikipedia. Anybody can go on. I can go on Wikipedia right now and say that WrestleMania 35 is going to take place in the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Anybody can go on Wikipedia and change it, edit it, and do whatever they want with it. So Wikipedia can never really be, for the most part, it's usually accurate. But I know, like, with school and stuff, you're not allowed to credit Wikipedia as a source, because Wikipedia can be changed and edited by anybody that wants to put up false stuff or think they're right and they're not. So as far as the Lincoln Financial Field Wikipedia page saying that they're getting WrestleMania, no one knows. There's no official WrestleMania 35. WWE has like 8 to 10 months. They have like 8 to 10 months till they have to make that decision. Let's see, Lincoln Financial Field, Wikipedia. I'll look it up. I'll see what you're saying. Yeah, no. I see where it says, oh, they're going to be the home of WrestleMania in 2019. No. Last I heard, Philadelphia wasn't even in the running. I mean, yes, they could be trying now, but no, you can't take Wikipedia as a legitimate source. Let's see. After the Cruiserweight Tag Team match, they aired the spot where Jeff Hardy got his tooth knocked out by Sheamus. They showed it in slow motion. They then showed Sheamus and Cesaro backstage. Cesaro is no longer adorned in his three-piece suit. Instead, he's wearing the matching black leather jacket with Sheamus. And Cesaro is now 100% full-fledged, I'm a heel. Let's see. Stop the one. Hope they pick somewhere around the West Coast. Or are you talking about for WrestleMania 35? I know they want to come back to Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The issue is the new stadium they're building in Los Angeles. They want to see when that stadium's going to be done, because if they come back to California, they want to go there. Yes, they do want to also go back to Levi's, but it's the thing of, it's a new stadium, it's a new market, it's a new venue, it's something new for them to go to in Los Angeles. They like the Los Angeles market, and if they're going to go somewhere in California, they'll go there first, since they were just in the San Francisco Bay Area. Let's see. So Sheamus and Cesaro came down to the ring. Cesaro said people felt a rush of nostalgia, just like every time some shiny new trinket shows up, the fans would rather live in the past than instead of paying attention to what's right in front of them, talking about himself and Sheamus. Cesaro said that he and Sheamus proved that the Hardys are nothing more than the nostalgia act, and that they don't belong in the same ring as the Swiss Superman. Sheamus then said that was the tooth of it, trying to make fun of him kicking Jeff Hardy's tooth out, and that this is the WWE and that belongs to Sheamus and Cesaro. Cesaro vowed to win back the Raw Tag Team Championships because they don't just set the bar, they are the bar. Yeah, that's their new slogan. Ryan Armstrong says, will WrestleMania ever be at the Barclays Center? No. Barclays Center is too small for WrestleMania, which is why you don't see them do the WrestleMania anymore in places like the Staples Center, the Barclays Center, Madison Square Garden. They want those big football arenas where they can get 60, 70 plus thousand people, 60,000 plus, 70,000 plus, 80, 90,000 plus. They want the bigger ones because now they know they can get it. Ever since, what was it, WrestleMania 22, 23 is when they really just went full into football stadiums. Let's see. Alfredo Ponce. Can I just say Great Balls of Fire is the worst pay-per-view name, but can they use from names WCW pay-per-views even though... Yeah, they can take WCW pay-per-view names. They own the rights to everything that was WCW. Let's see. After they did their whole new "We don't set the bar, we are the bar" slogan or tagline or saying, whatever you want to call it, the Hardys then came out with Matt flashing his broken smile. Matt thanked them for the explanation and said that he couldn't understand they believe those asinine assertions. They wanted to respond to Cesaro and Sheamus with one word. They didn't say the word, but the crowd said the word, and Matt did the delete motion with his arm, which, like I said, set off the crowd. Hardys then rushed the ring with Cesaro and Sheamus bailed, retreating, and the Hardys just stood in the ring while Sheamus and Cesaro walked up the ramp. Shottam says WWE is done with their contract with USA Network in 2019, so they have 2 years to step up their game. And right now, I don't know who else would be interested. Maybe Fox Sports 1 is a name that I have heard. But other than them and USA Network, I don't know who would be interested. And with the ratings dipping, I don't know how much of an increase they can get from USA Network, to be honest. Let's see. They then did a interview backstage of Miz and Maurice with Charlie Caruso. Miz said Rollins cost Balor 8 months of his career. Balor had to relinquish the Universal Championship because of Rollins. Miz looked off to the side, and when he turned his head to the right. It was Ambrose holding the microphone instead of Charlie Caruso. And yeah, Ambrose did this all night. He was playing the quote-unquote interviewer. Again, stupid Dean Ambrose comedy. Ambrose asked Miz if the hair gel he wears ever gets in his eyes when he wrestles. Miz and Maurice just walked off. Ambrose threw it back to Gene and Bobby at ringside. We then got footage from earlier in the day. Heath Slater and Apollo Crews talking backstage. Crews is about to become a father and joked with Slater about having a bunch of kids. Titus walked up, upset at Crews that he was talking to the enemy, and when Crews wants advice that he should come to Titus. We then had Apollo Crews versus Heath Slater. A match went about 3.5 minutes long. Crews came out with Titus O'Neil in his corner. Rhino was in Slater's corner. Crowd chanted, "He has kids," supporting Heath Slater throughout the entire match. Crews did win. It was a face versus face. He hit his spinning power bomb. Crews and O'Neil did the selfie thing afterwards. And I think Rhino photobombed him, if I'm not mistaken. Kurt Angle then came out and said that the match with Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman at Payback had the most physicality he had ever seen. Like, he threw Shane McMahon through glass, and this was more physical, more physicality. Okay, whatever. They made it clear that they aren't done with each other. Angle has consulted with other WWE officials on how to handle the situation. Just then, Bray Wyatt's video flashed, and Bray Wyatt came down to the ring. Bray Wyatt then cut a promo telling Kurt, I know this is your show. You're the general manager. You're the authority figure here. You say it's your show. But let me do what I need to do. Let me do what I want to do right now. Because what I need to do is what's best. This is your show, but it's my world. Angle said that he doesn't know what Wyatt has planned, but Wyatt should remember that this is his show. Wyatt laughed and said Angle should understand that it's his world, and then they cut to break. AJ Styles says, is WWE planning Nakamura versus Styles? I would assume maybe WrestleMania, maybe. I honestly don't know when they would do it, but I would assume that it is something they're looking at closely. All right. Ambrose then kept up his interviewing thing with Seth Rollins this time. Ambrose claimed that the WWE Network is thinking about giving him his own show, and he thought up some potential names as far as the Today Show, the Daily Show. Rollins mentions that those are already taken, and he's appeared on one of them. Ambrose then asked Rollins if he wins tonight, does he have what it takes to beat Ambrose? Rollins said that he's already beaten Ambrose. That led to Ambrose responding, saying that was like 2 years ago. Rollins said he's learned some new tricks since those 2 years. And then Rollins called him a fool and walked away. And then Ambrose then says, "Gorilla. Thanks, Sean Mooney." Stupid. Alfredo Ponce, is tomorrow Jericho's last day as U.S. champion as he is leaving for Tora Fozzy? Yes. I would assume that Jericho is losing the title to Kevin Owens tomorrow, and then they go on with Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles at Backlash. They are, quote-unquote, advertising Jericho versus AJ Styles just to keep up, Jericho's the champ, so the champ's going to defend, just to make you think that Jericho may have a chance of winning tomorrow. But Jericho ain't going to win. We then go on to have Austin Aries versus TJ Perkins. Match went about 11 minutes long. Perkins was constantly referred to as just TJP. After a missile dropkick, Aries went for the last chancery. TJP crotched Aries, whose left knee was hung on the top rope. TJP worked on the leg with a butterfly lock. For some reason, Booker T congratulated Cole on his victory over Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler in a country whipping match. They didn't mention Cole's partner was Jack Swagger, though. TJP put a half crab on Aries' left leg while standing on the top rope. Perkins then tried to crotch Aries against the post, but Aries pulled his leg out, and TJP went face first into the post. Aries then, later on in the match, went for the discus 5-arm, and Aries hit a shin breaker into a back suplex. Perkins kicked the leg out from under Aries. TJP went for the detonation kick, but Aries countered into the last chancery, and TJ Perkins tapped out. Aries was then celebrating in the ring before he was attacked from behind by Perkins. Then he locked in the heel hook, and the referee forced him to stop. TJP getting the heat. Balor was then interviewed backstage by Dean Ambrose, who asked him if he was nervous. Balor said he eats nervousness and produces results. Ambrose then handed him a donut, saying that he has a vein and needs to put on a little bit of carbs. Balor then took a bite of the donut, handed it back to Dean, walked off. Dean then took a bite of the donut, and then the Drifter walked up. Playing his guitar, Ambrose said, "Hey, you know any Pearl Jam?" And then he just kept on playing and walked away. We then saw the Golden Truth in Kurt Angle's office. Goldust said that he had an idea for a movie that would be bigger than Baywatch, bigger than Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It would be a Shattered Dreams production called The Golden Conquest. R-Truth said that he could see it. Truth then asked Angle if they can have a championship match against the Hardys. Angle said their win-loss record really didn't reflect someone that deserves a championship match, but that next week on Raw, there would be a tag team turmoil match with the winners getting a championship opportunity. And to be honest, I think that might be Sheamus and Cesaro. We then had the main event of Monday Night Raw. Let's see, DeAndre Duke says, do you potentially see Carlito returning if given a chance? Carlito has said that he was contacted around draft time, but thought he deserved way more money than he was being offered. So whether it's a fact of do they want him back or not, it's a fact of is he going to come back for what they're offering. Let's see. Stop the One says Roman is red, Cena is blue. If they main event, then I'll kick out at 2. Okay. Just for Fun Gaming, when will we see the Drifter get a shot at the Universal Championship? I don't even know when the Drifter's going to wrestle on Raw. We just see him every night or every Monday playing his guitar briefly. Crayman, is Kane going to return? Unknown. Kane is working on running for mayor, so he's tied up with that in Clark County. I think it's Clark County. wherever he lives in Tennessee. He's going to run for mayor next year, so he's setting up his campaign already. All right, so we had the main event of Monday Night Raw. Miz left the ring quickly, trying to run away from both Balor and Rollins. Balor and Rollins ran out of the ring. Miz ran back in the ring, and then he was finally cut off by, I want to say, Seth. Rollins climbed to the top rope. Miz threw him off, and Rollins landed against the dasher boards. During the commercial, the three men all clotheslined each other. Rollins attempted a springboard crossbody on Balor. It was a little off balance, and he hit Balor more in like the shoulder neck area. Balor got upper-handed when he threw Miz into Rollins, then drop-kicked Rollins, who gave Miz an accidental DDT. Balor kicked Miz off the top rope, then clotheslined Rollins to the floor. Balor gave Miz a soccer kick to the face, then ran around ringside with a drop kick to Rollins into the dasher boards. Later on, we then got a great sequence where Rollins teased his new Rainmaker knee finish on Balor, but Miz climbed the top rope from behind. Rollins knew the Miz was there, so he let Balor go, throwing him out of the ring. He crotched Miz, gave him a super kick, and rolled him up for a Falcon Arrow, but Miz kicked out. Fans were stunned that the Miz kicked out, as they thought that was the finish. Rollins then went nuts, giving Balor and Miz topes on opposite sides of the ring. After he hit the tope on the Miz, he was then attacked by Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe laid him out at ringside with the Uranagi. And then we go back into the ring as Miz is wondering, whoa, what is Joe doing out here? Balor then hit several drop kicks on Miz. He then went for the sling blade that looked a little off-timed. I think Miz may have slightly been out of position. He then went for the coup de grace, but as he was climbing to the top rope, Bray Wyatt came out. Bray Wyatt then showed up, pushed him off the top rope, gave him a Sister Abigail, and then he disappeared. Miz then just slowly crawled over, pinned Balor. 1, 2, 3. It will now be The Miz challenging Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship. I felt like Raw tonight was an okay show. If you really watched it leading up to the main event, you were just like, it's another show that if someone asked me if they should go back and watch it, whatever. But with the main event, you can be like, oh, go check out at least the main event. Because the main event triple threat match was actually really, really good. DeAndre Duke says, anything on Shelton Benjamin? Haven't heard anything. Last I heard, WrestleMania weekend, he was finally cleared to compete. And then within the last couple of weeks, he has gone on record saying, WWE wanted me back at the draft. I was all but signed, and then I found out I was hurt. He was never officially signed back at the draft, and still now he has not signed anything with the WWE. So he's not, I can't say that he's not coming back to the WWE, but as of right now, nothing's been signed, nothing's in the works, nothing is looking like they're trying to work on anything as of right now officially. Okay. Let's see. Sadham says WWE banned his chair shot to the head, but action like that is what made the Attitude Era so much fun. But if you really think about it, a lot of guys were getting hurt with those chair shots to the head. So, I mean, you can do them here and there if you know what you're doing, and you can do them softly. But doing them all the time is just unneeded. A lot of people said that that's what made the Attitude Era, but it wasn't that. It was that the superstars were better back then, in all honesty. Alfredo Pont says, are rumors true about Crazy Steve, Gunner, and Magnus? Okay, so as far as Crazy Steve goes, Crazy Steve has been offered a deal. Crazy Steve has left Impact, and Crazy Steve has told promoters that he can work the indies shortly. So that makes me believe that he hasn't signed the deal yet with WWE, but they're just working out the final things. As far as Gunner goes, I have heard the rumor, but I haven't heard anything actually confirmed. Now, where Magnus ties into all this, Magnus, yes, that's the husband of Mickie James. So you would think, oh yeah, her husband's going to come in. But he's working Impact. He's the Global Force Wrestling Champion. Well, spoiler alert, was before he lost it to Alberto El Patron. So, as far as him coming in, I don't know, because he's working Impact. He's going to be working the ITV show, I believe. So, it may not be looking possible here in 2017, at least here in the summer months. Stop the One says, why is David Otunga on the Then Now Forever video, the one that is played before every show? There are people like Triple H on, I don't know. They can put whoever they want on there. It really, that's nitpicking things that doesn't really need to be nitpicked, to be honest. So, but yeah, that was Raw, everybody. It wasn't like I said, it was a show that was just a show, but the main event really saved the show. The main event really made it, go back and see the main event. But everything else that happened on the show, blow away. Like I said earlier, they've got a month and a half or so until their next pay-per-view, so there's time to grow, time to set things up. They did set up the next challenger for the Intercontinental Championship. They did let us know that next week we'll be getting a new challenger for the tag titles, and we'll go from there. But thank you, everybody who joined us here on the live stream tonight talking Monday Night Raw. I want to say thank you to everybody who called in, everybody in the chat, everybody who has helped out Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and to make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Now tomorrow, there will not be a SmackDown show after SmackDown because I will be at SmackDown. Hopefully I can get the SmackDown review live Wednesday morning. Again, thank you guys for joining us here tonight, Monday, May 1st, 2017.